What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread, talking baseball, episode 75. Recovering from a night with the Marines last night. Ugh. Got to give a shout out, though. Will hooked up the whole crew. Hojo, Old Balls, Zalea. We miss Cajun out there. And then a new friend, Papillon, the Legionnaire. Heck of a night last night watching the Lightning win 8-0. So most of my baseball last night on the short slate was done via video. And a lot being made of umpires checking baseballs. But if you check the IL right now, you've got Glasnow, Bieber, and Civale on the IL. Your AL front runners for the Cy Young are all hurt. And I don't think you have to look any further than this substance issue. It's a disgrace, man. I'm bent. I'm buying Civale still. He's a buy for me. It's not his orientation. You watch your mouth. No, it's easy for me to go ahead and buy it. It's probably not going to be much. I expect this card to dip with news of him hitting the IL. Going to go scoop a couple of those. We're going to get to our card grading a little bit today, but man, it's Wander Day and I'm excited. Might sound a little rough, but I guarantee you, I'm ready. Does this make my face look big? I think it's your head. I got called out pretty hard last night for the orange on a toothpick. Doing my best with this watermelon dome piece. All right? But back to the action. Singer and Cole. Cole right now is probably the front runner for the Cy Young. He hasn't been great. Because these other guys are, who knows how long they're going to stay hurt for. And he's the only one left healthy. You got Swerve and Irvin at Hearn. Hearn's going to open for the Rangers. You know we like that. Still can't bet the games because we're in Florida, and for some reason I can't do it yet. But the bell of the ball, Kershaw at Snell. I hope these things just continue to pick up where the last series in San Diego left off between these two clubs, because it is just what's good with baseball right now is the rivalry between the Dodgers and the Padres. Now, the Dodgers are bombed out and depleted. But they're going to be up for this one. Appointment television, Kershaw at Snell. I don't expect the Royals to give Cole much of a run, but you know we like Brady Singer and Swerve and Irvin, so we're just letting you know. By the way, Aaron Civale has 10 wins. And they're maybe being overly cautious about this, but I can't say it enough that this falls on Major League Baseball. If these guys are all hurt like that, they're going to be able to figure it out. And I said it before after Glasnow got hurt that he wasn't going to be the last one. Yeah, finger injury. I wonder if he's gripping the ball differently. It's stupid, man. But now they're in for a penny, in for a pound. They can't go back on it now because then they would assume liability for Glasnow's injury, for Civale's injury. Maybe not so much Bieber's injury, but man, it's just stacking up, and I don't expect it to change. I expect to see more dudes get hurt, and it's just, if you know they're going to get hurt, you got to do something about it, and I think at this point, we're losing a guy a week. How many do you need to lose a week before you do something? 2, 3? We'll have the AAA pitching staffs up here in the majors before long, losing a stud pitcher a week for the next 10 weeks. I'm obviously bent about it, but I wanted to do this because I kept putting it off. When we're getting our cards graded, all right, we're going to shift. If you're not into cards, I'll let you punch out now. I'll just let you know. We're doing a short one today because it was a short slate. And tomorrow we're going to be all wander all the time. We covered it a bit yesterday, so I don't want to go over old biz. We have put these two cards up in front of the camera before. And without the glare, there. These cards look remarkably similar. That's a 9. And that's a 10. And the only thing that I can see between these two, there might be about a millimeter or two difference on the top of the 9. And if they have the grading down that succinctly, man, it's tough to get a good card in there. So before you send your cards to get graded, you have to check them thoroughly. And if you think there might be something, there is something. All right? Because even if you can't see anything, you don't know. Now, these PSAs, they're not even accepting cards right now, and it costs $230 to do it when you can. Benefit being They load it all into the database. It's the premier system. But it's just too expensive, and people are not going to be able to get these type of cards done. They're going to be doing only the top end cards, and I don't know why they would do that unless they're invested in these other companies. Here's another PSA 10 Severino. You'll notice that is a flawless looking card. I mean, I can see why that one's a 10. And then if you look here, this one you can kind of see on the top, slightly more room than the bottom. That one you can kind of notice it. That one is getting a 9. All right. Now, for me, I think that this Gore card is less off center than that Severino card, but they're both 9s. This Randy, when I bought it 2 weeks ago, was 70. I checked today, it's 150. Randy's lighting it up, but I'm not selling this card until it's a few grandy, because I think it's only going up for Randy. But this card I wanted to use as an example because it's difficult to gauge the centering on these 2020 tops. Don't be shy to go into your local hobby shop and have the guy take a look at it, have the gal take a look at it. And if they can't find anything wrong with it, they might buy it off you before you send it. And then you would save yourself that hassle. Because if they are trying to buy it, that means they think it's a 10. That Meadows is sweet. But again, sideways, really a difficult call on these type of card layouts, the landscape cards. It's hard to judge the centering. And nowadays there's so many cards that you can see on eBay and online, you can go and look at it that way. Now, switching over from PSA, this is the SGC rack. And frankly, nobody would get a Christian Pache base rookie card. I got this for a couple of bucks. It still cost however much it was, and you got a 9 back on a base card. But this type of card, for example, if this guy comes up and does what we think he's going to do, it's going to be worth a lot more than the $6 that I paid for it, just because it's rated, even though it's a 9. And then we're going to switch gears for just 1 second. This is a Christian Pulisic. I know this is a baseball show, but USA Soccer's back in the World Cup, and if you have a line on these kind of cards, Pulisic cards, I mean, this is a 9.5. You can see 9s and 9.5s of Pulisic, but man, try and get your hands on a PSA 10 Christian Pulisic and see how much it costs you. The guy's going to absolutely blow up. So be careful of those American soccer players making their World Cup debut. We're going to be on that for the cards anyway. As you can see, we're switching the focus a little bit. We're going to go half and half. My goal is to get to the point where I can do card breaks and a sports show at the same time and get everybody involved in the conversation. So if you want to get with me at RyeBread0844 on Twitter, we're putting in for our card license. Get at me if you want to distribute. And don't forget, Fishtails of Homosassa. We're going to be out there this week for a remote. Just locking down the times. And if you're in St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa area, you can head over to Bascom's Chop House. It's the best steakhouse in the city. You won't be disappointed. And if you want that dream vacation resort, don't forget, you're going out to Bravo Beach Resort in Siargao Island, Philippines. And then maybe heading over for a party or two at Pirate Castle. Lots of big doings out there at Siargao Island, Philippines. Anyway, a little bit short today. We're going to be all over the Wando Franco debut tomorrow. Come back and see us. We're going to do 162.